All right, so let's get into today's episode, though. We are going to be reviewing Roadhouse, the new remake that just dropped with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor on Amazon Prime, and Love Lies Bleeding, a very popular film at the South by Southwest Festival. It's been getting a lot of attention, starring Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien.
And Ed
Harris.
Ed Harris,
and
yeah.
Dave Franco.
And Dave Franco.
All right, so let's
start with Roadhouse.
Start with Roadhouse. Roadhouse. All right, initial thoughts
Toast House.
on Roadhouse.
Toast House.
Ghost House.
Well, overall, what'd you think? Did you like it?
No, I didn't.
What?
Oh shit, you did?
I liked it.
Whoa!
I enjoyed it.
Wow, this might be the first time we've disagreed like this.
I thought it was fun.
I
I thought it was
didn't
very.
like it,
I thought it
bro.
was very self-aware.
See, and that's what people have been saying.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, they know they're being goofy and silly. But like, were they trying to be?
Yes.
Were they really though?
Yes. There was like one line in there where I was like, it was like cringe, and I was like, okay, you didn't need to say that. But other than that, like I thought the humor hit. I thought it was funny. I liked it.
So on Letterboxd, what would you give it?
I'd give it. I mean, like I said, I liked it. I thought it was fun, but I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's like some critically,
Right.
You know,
No,
some
I
critical
know.
achievement
But
or some
like,
shit.
what would you give it?
Probably like 3.5.
3.5? I gave it 2 stars.
What?
Yeah. And I've been seeing a lot of 3 stars, 3.5s. I don't get it. I'm sorry. I just don't get it.
See, but you haven't seen the original Roadhouse, have you?
No.
All right.
So that made it better?
I think it does. I think it does. Because I feel like it plays on like some of that 80s cringiness that we get out of the original movie,
Okay.
and they know that.
But is it 1980?
No,
Okay.
but it's based off of a movie that came out in 1989.
But it's a remake. I guess.
I thought it was funny. I thought the humor stuck. I thought the action sequences were pretty good.
Okay.
I will say the one part I cannot fucking stand is
Yeah.
Conor McGregor. Can't stand
Wait, you
him.
can't stand him?
Nope.
That's like been everyone's favorite part.
I can't stand him. I can't. Dude, this is who
no,
No, this is literally him the whole time.
See, you had fun with the movie. I had fun with Conor McGregor.
Fuck him, bro.
I had fun with Conor McGregor.
I never put him in a goddamn action movie again.
Why not?
It's terrible.
All right,
I couldn't even understand half the shit he said.
Where the fuck is everyone?
Dude, it's so stupid.
But that's the stupidness that I enjoyed in it. You said the movie was like, it knew it was stupid. Conor McGregor was stupid in
I
it.
understand, but I just couldn't stand him.
Oh, no, I thought he was funny.
I didn't like him, bro.
I'm not saying he can act, but I thought he was funny.
No, he didn't. He can't act.
Oh, man.
Dude,
he was
just-
looking yoked.
But he had just a fucking grin on his face the whole time. I hated it.
Fucking the opening scene that we get of him and him just butt ass naked,
Yeah.
bro.
So fucking stupid.
It was stupid, but
No, and also, bro, you said he looked yoked. The man was flexing every second he was on screen.
I thought he was funny.
I mean, honestly, I feel like he always looks like that, but his
Yeah.
traps are always just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, who walks like this?
Uh-huh.
His back is like always arched. It's just weird.
He was a menace in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, but here's one big issue that I did have.
What?
Roadhouse. It's a action-packed, fun movie, right? Fighting sequences and all that. I was not a fan of how much a noticeable CGI, like visual effects, there was during these fight sequences.
Uh-huh.
You know, this hand-to-hand fight choreography, that's what can be very impressive in these action movies. I mean, off the top of my head, that we see with like Rush Hour, for instance, right?
Uh-huh.
Very impressive fight choreographies. Obviously, no CGI during those fights. And I just thought some of the CGI in these fight sequences were just unnecessary and way too noticeable.
That's okay. See, that's like where I believe me, I know what you mean. Like
Yeah.
I did notice that.
And that didn't
But
bother you?
No, because I looked at it like they're making it intentional. Like they're making Dalton like fucking superhuman, just like they do with what's his face in Fast and Furious.
But that's why Fast and Furious isn't good. Those movies are known to be like more superhero movies now.
Yeah, I get that, but why can't
I
that?
didn't-
Why can't that be
Why?
what they were going
Why?
for with this?
It's a ex UFC fighter. Why does he need to be a fucking like superhero strength?
I mean,
Also,
I wouldn't say
it
he
wasn't
was
even superhero strength.
I would. Yeah, I was about to say I wouldn't say he's a
No.
superhero strength, but
No,
there was definitely moments where they
no.
like exaggerated the fighting and like the force.
Yeah,
that
but it
he
was
got hit with.
unnecessary. I thought it was unnecessary, especially for that. Like, why you don't need to incorporate CGI for that.
No,
You don't. So I was not a huge fan of that at all. Probably the least amount of words Jake Gyllenhaal has needed to say for a movie.
what do you mean?
Like he didn't talk much at all. He just
Yeah,
like looked like, do you really want to do that?
He was the mysterious
All right.
silent type.
Mysterious silent type. But then they try to give us this backstory that I feel like we didn't really learn too much about. We know he killed. Okay. We don't need to learn, but why make it such a big part of his character then?
You need to watch the original fucking Roadhouse.
I guess I do.
Cause it like I think people who watch the original and watch this enjoy it would probably enjoy it more. Versus you going into this blind.
Okay. I still don't think that makes it a good movie. I'll watch the original Roadhouse.
I thought it was fun.
Mm.
There was in the beginning. I thought they were gonna make like way too many callbacks to the original.
Right.
Like they started saying certain lines where it was clearly like mocking or joking, you know, with the original one.
Yeah.
But after they did like 3 of them in the beginning, and then after that they kind of cut it out. But
I don't know. I didn't even really find it interesting. Like just the plot itself.
it's the same plot as the original, pretty much.
Again.
Except like in this case, it wasn't. So in the original one, he's not a UFC fighter because UFC wasn't even a thing.
Uh-huh.
He was just like a bouncer.
You're right.
He was like one of the bouncers that was like known throughout all bars.
Right.
It's almost like they had celebrities that were bouncers.
Right.
It was fucking weird.
I mean, small towns, I could see that.
I guess, but yeah, so he was just like known for being the best bouncer, and he got like hired to, you know, take
clean
care
up this one bar.
Yeah, to clean up this one bar, the Double Deuce. That's what it was called. And
That's a funny name.
yeah. Versus this time he was just like you know, a guy who knew how to fight, and they hired him to
Where
clean it up.
does it take place in the original?
Missouri.
Yeah. Okay, so still south.
Yeah.
I do like the setting of the Florida Keys.
I did
honestly,
like that.
I feel like maybe I'm saying this because I'm from Florida, but I really do wish we saw more movies set in Florida. I feel like Florida offers a fun environment.
Yeah.
I do.
Dude, I've never been to the Keys.
I haven't either, actually.
I need to go to the Keys. It always
I've been to Miami, but I haven't been to the Keys.
I see videos and it just looks like a good time.
Like a relaxing time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy though. Yes, you're going to say, well, you're in Florida. Why haven't you been? That's still like probably a 5 to 6 hour drive.
It's a drive, bro.
It's a drive.
God, how far is it to get to Miami? That's
Like 3.5.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
I always thought it was like 4.
I
or
mean,
more.
from Tampa, but being in Orlando, you're like,
It's
you
like a
just go
straight
straight
shot,
down the
yeah.
East Coast. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, so the film has received mixed reviews from critics, with some praising the performance of Gyllenhaal, which I love Gyllenhaal. He's a great actor, but I don't see what there was to praise about this performance. And others criticizing the script and extensive use of CGI for the fight sequences, which I definitely agree on that.
Yeah.
But this was surprising. You're saying that a lot of people, you would assume a lot of people who watched the original enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
A lot of the audience. But surprisingly, the critic score on Rotten Tomato is 59%. The audience score is 54%.
Interesting.
So you would think the audience score would be higher if what you're saying is true.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Very mixed reviews.
It's still higher rated than the original.
What's the original?
I think the original was like 43% or
Really?
something on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah.
It's one of those dumb 80 movies.
Yeah.
Like dumb
But it
fun.
just got a cult following.
Yeah, true. I can't see the legs for this one to have a
Let's
cult
see.
following.
43% Rotten
43.
Tomatoes, 36 Metacritic,
Wow.
and then 6.7 on IMDb.
Wow.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Bro, you would like the original. You know why?
Well, I know Patrick Swayze's in it, but that's not the reason why.
No.
Give me a hint.
No.
All right, why?
Tits.
Tits? Is it rated R?
Nope.
PG-13?
Yep. Bro, I don't know what the 80s was. Oh, wait, it is rated R.
Oh, it is?
Oh, I always thought it was rated PG-13. Never
Oh my
mind.
God.
I could have sworn it said PG-13. All right, never mind. It's rated R, but yeah, there's a lot of tits.
Jesus. Yeah, 80s you could do though.
But PG-13 movies
what?
back in the 80s did have tits.
Okay, speaking of a lot of tits, wait till we talk about Love Lies Bleeding.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot more in Roadhouse.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shocking with how much nudity there was in Love Lies Bleeding, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Before we do move on, I want to start doing a new segment for each review that we do. I'm going to read some Google reviews. I'll read some 5-star Google reviews of the movie and some 1-star Google reviews of the movie.
Okay.
I think that's fun.
All
See
right.
like how different people think.
And let's see if we agree with anything they say.
The first 5-star review that we have, got to start with a positive, from Miss Cat F. Really enjoyed watching the movie. Jake Gyllenhaal is so hot. It was fun, thrilling, and I like watching people make fools of themselves from drinking alcohol because it sends a good message out there. Another 5-star review from Matt. I simply cannot lie. My life has changed after viewing this movie, and especially seeing the MMA icon, the notorious Conor McGregor's performance in Roadhouse.
So bad.
His performance sent chills down my spine. Simply a masterful performance. I'd argue you could put this performance up there with any of the all-time greats. It's got to be satire.
It's got to be.
I simply cannot wait for Conor McGregor's return in both the octagon and acting. The double champ gets a 10 out of 10 from this movie critic. I can see him in other movies. Like I can see that start being a thing now. I don't see his return to the octagon, as I feel like people have said before his time has passed. There's also speculation that he's got a drug problem. I don't know if you saw that interview with him and Jake Gyllenhaal, and he was like involuntarily twitching.
No.
I don't know. Yeah. So people think he's got a little coke problem right now.
Interesting. I didn't like him or his character at all.
I liked him. Let's read some 1-star reviews now. From Mike. I gave it a shot only because it was free on Amazon Prime. If I had paid a penny to watch, I'd sue to get my money back. I'm not a fan of any movie made in the past 10 years, but I think this could possibly be the worst. So uninspired. I watched the movie with my son, and about halfway through, we both sat wondering, why were we still there, watching, wasting our time? Another 1-star review. 1 star because they don't offer a minus. This movie is so bad, it makes it look gorgeous. Why, you ask? Let's do the short list, shall we? 1, it has nothing to do with the original movie or Patrick Swayze's character.
It doesn't need to.
It's a remake.
Yeah.
It's not going to. 2, it has nothing to do with Roadhouse, but it's all about ridiculously over the top, horribly bad, completely implausible, god awful bad writing, direction, and acting. 3, it is predictable from the 2 minutes to the last. Yeah.
I would say it's predictable, yeah.
4, Conor McGregor struts and flexes as much as anyone in the history of flexing, and his character is laughably cartoonish as a Saturday morning.
Thank you, God. That was like the one part of that I agreed with.
And 5, the woman who's the bar owner who never cleans up the Roadhouse, which is the plot of the movie, is pointless. She doesn't clean it up, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we never got any resolve on that.
No, the plot is stupid.
The plot is stupid. It turned out to be, a whole like...
Also, Post Malone in the beginning kicking ass. Get the fuck out of here.
No, there's no way.
Get the fuck out of here.
Bro,
what was Post Malone doing in that movie?
He'd be getting his ass whipped, boy.
If I got my ass kicked by Post Malone, I'd be rethinking a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Dude, he didn't even look like a big brute kind of guy. He just looked weak.
I know it's 2024, but we got to make some shit look believable. Like, come on, Post Malone kicking some big dude's ass like that,
Nah.
like he's Sherlock Holmes, knowing all the pressure points.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, that was pretty unrealistic in the beginning there. But I definitely agreed with the Conor McGregor part. But the plot kind of made sense. Like, it was like, let's see. So this guy is trying to build this, gigantic complex.
Yep.
He needs the property that the Roadhouse is on. And so he's like trying to devalue it by,
Right.
sending people there to fuck shit up all the time
Right.
and, like cause a wreck and whatever. I mean, it makes sense. like with what they're trying to do.
Right, but there's just
Like
no
he's trying
really,
to drive business out to the point where she has no choice but to sell.
I guess there's just no really true resolution.
Not really, other than taking down the guys that were trying to do that and
Yeah.
like devalue the Roadhouse. I mean, like, because once they were gone, there was no reason. Like that was the whole reason why this place was so rough to begin with.
Yeah.
Was because he was purposely doing it.
Yeah.
So
Overall,
however, wait, didn't
What?
that guy was funny? One of the bikers, that one biker dude,
the one who was nice.
Yeah, he was funny.
He was funny.
He was great comedic relief.
He was funny.
I had to mention that.
Uh-huh.
He was awesome.
I agree. He was funny. He would always like answer Jake Gyllenhaal's questions in a respectful way and like informational way.
Yeah. No, I know. I thought it was so funny in the beginning too because he was like, "Those your bikes outside?" Yeah, mine's the red one.
Yeah.
I was like, "Why would you say that?" And then I figured out like, "Oh, he's the idiot."
Yeah, he was funny.
But yeah, we didn't really get a resolve on the love story either. Like there wasn't much happening there,
No.
and he just left.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he even say bye to her?
I don't think so.
Fucking stupid.
Nah, I think he just dipped.
I didn't like it. All right, Roadhouse gets a thumb down from me.
I'll give it a middle thumb. I had fun with it.
I didn't like it. All right, let's move on to Love Lies Bleeding, starring Kristen Stewart, Katie O'Brien, Ed Harris, Dave Franco, directed by Rose Glass. Woo! This was an interesting movie right here.
Another A24 film.
Another A24 movie. Well, Roadhouse was an A24, but we're saying in general, another A24 movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, A24 has been popular. So, short summary for this movie: a reclusive gym manager, Lou, falls hard for Jackie. Lou, played by Kristen Stewart, Jackie, Katie O'Brien. An ambitious bodybuilder headed through town to Las Vegas in pursuit of her dream, but their love ignites violence, pulling them deep into the web of Lou's criminal family. I will say, I absolutely loved Katie O'Brien in this. Katie O'Brien had to audition 6 times, and it was her first leading role. I remember seeing a tweet recently get resurfaced, but she tweeted back in 2022, I believe it was, a picture of her working out, insisting that they cast her based on the character descriptions they were looking for, because A24, or one of the production companies, had put out a tweet about a casting choice that they were looking for. And Katie O'Brien tweeted a picture of her like working out, and she's been shredded for years.
Yeah.
And it worked.
She looked good in the movie,
Dude,
man.
she was jacked.
She was
bro.
jacked.
She looked good. She looked good. I didn't know if I was like into girls that strong, but
Made me kind of want to be. Yeah.
she looked good. New celebrity crush. Overall thoughts on Love Lies Bleeding?
Again, I enjoyed this one as well.
I enjoyed this one.
Yeah,
I did.
I had some beefs with it. For one, the thing that just kind of took me out of it was just over the top with the sex scenes. I was like,
Yeah.
like I get it, especially if that's like the vibe you're going for
Right.
the movie.
Right.
But there was a certain point where I'm like, dude, oh my God, another one? Like, can we just
okay.
move on with the story?
And here's what people will say to push that back to. Well, of course, a straight white man is saying this.
oh my God, dude, it's not even that.
No. I agree. It's not even that. And like, okay, well, what about all the other movies that you watch for sex scenes? I will say, even if this was like a straight couple or whatever, it would still be over the top.
Yeah.
It was a lot more than I thought. And I see a lot of reviews too that's saying like, well, this is a perfect, lesbian queer movie for people to enjoy. I mean, yeah, I could agree with that.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of sex scenes.
There was so many. I was it literally like distracted me from the actual plot of the movie itself. Like, to be honest, like at first the movie kind of felt like it was just these two's love story,
Yeah.
and them just fucking all the time. And I was like,
It was a horny ass movie.
it was super.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, you saw that tweet about the guy who fell asleep in the.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone saw that, but when this movie first premiered, one audience member in Detroit fell asleep
with his pants down.
pecker out, absolutely wasted. You could see the little bottle of liquor next to him because he was stroking his meat in theaters. Yeah. Passed out, drunk from stroking his meat in theaters.
God.
And after seeing this movie, I see why he was doing that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be doing that.
No, he shouldn't be doing
But
that.
I see why he did that.
Yeah. Like, I was like, God, man.
Uh-huh.
it just felt like porn at a certain point.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
It really did.
Sure, yeah, it was hot, but it was a lot.
But once they did get like back to the story, that I did enjoy it.
That's the thing. I enjoyed the second half a lot.
Yeah, second half was really good.
Yes.
And like you mentioned, they had like some more dark humor in there towards the end, which I did enjoy, and I kind of wish they incorporated more of that into the beginning as well.
Yes.
Dave Franco played a great asshole.
I feel like he's done that before too.
Yeah.
I can't recall what movie. Well, not that he was an asshole in 21 Jump Street, but he's unlikable in 21 Jump Street.
He is unlikable.
So he can play a good asshole. He was funny. I did like the dark humor that they did have more towards the end of the movie, that I thought if they played on that more throughout the movie, I would have given it a higher score. Kristen Stewart was funny when given the chance with the dark humor as well. So I think if they did that throughout more of the movie, because I gave it 3.5 stars.
I think I was at like 3.
3? I'd say it's better than a 3-star movie. If you're gonna give fucking Roadhouse 3.5,
I'll bring Roadhouse down a little bit.
You're gonna bring it to 3?
Yeah, I'll bring it to 3.
Damn, bro.
I liked it, man.
But no, this is a movie that has gotten positive reviews for the most part. Like I said earlier, it was a popular hit at the South by Southwest Film Festival that it premiered at. Ed Harris plays a great bad guy as well.
He always plays a good bad guy.
He does. He has a good voice.
Mm-hmm. I will say one thing though in this movie that really like just weirded me out and had me so fucking confused.
Okay.
Spoilers, obviously. Was her growing though.
Yeah. I don't want to dive too deep into spoilers, but there is a surreal aspect to this movie.
Yeah. It was like honestly,
that kind of takes you out of it.
Yeah. Like she was on these roids.
Yeah.
And we didn't know exactly what they were, but for some reason when she would it was almost like she was the Hulk whenever she was like getting mad or whatever. Like she had some connection to Lou.
Yeah.
Or like when she knew Lou was in danger or something, like she would grow. And the first instance we saw of this is, when she grew to like 7 feet and killed somebody for the first time.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, when she's tall as a building.
She's like 50 feet tall.
Yeah.
Maybe higher, because they were like in the clouds.
Yeah. And after that.
Yeah, afterwards.
And then like at first I thought like, okay, maybe because she didn't really have anyone to acknowledge that she was bigger when we first saw her grow.
And she did have a lot of like hallucination scenes as well.
Yes. So I thought maybe it was like in her head or something.
Yeah.
But then we get to the end of the movie and Ed Harris acknowledges that she's gigantic because he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And there's just like no explanation as to how that happened other than those steroids. I don't believe steroids can do that to you.
No, I think it's more so of the love connection to Lou.
I guess, but again, it was like this supernatural part of the movie that didn't feel like it was in the right place.
It's interesting. You'll just have to give it your own opinion if you go see it. I think it definitely took me out of the movie a little bit. It's definitely ambitious, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But overall, I liked the whole aesthetics of the movie as well. It takes place in, I think, 1989. It's definitely the 80s, but I think the year was like 1989. Which I'm kind of a sucker for, like, period pieces anyways.
Vibes.
Well, because I think we were talking about this on another episode, how watching movies, like if you see current up-to-date technology, it kind of takes you out of it in a way, because it's like almost too relatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love seeing movies that are set in like the 60s, 70s, 80s.
Kind of makes you be like, oh yeah, they had to live like that.
Yeah. And it also opens up, I feel like, a lot more plots.
Yeah, because like there's so many plots that can be ruined by, hey, a killer's coming after you. Look out.
Yeah.
Like,
or Scream's done a great job of that.
What happened to my friend? Let me check their location.
Yeah.
Like literally just shit like that.
Yeah. So I think it offers a lot more plot points.
But I will say that movie kept me on my toes for sure.
It did. No, for sure. I was definitely intrigued the whole time. Had me a lot more interested than Roadhouse, for sure.
Shut
up. Acting was a lot better too. Kristen Stewart was great. Katie O'Brien was great.
Dude, I already acknowledged it. Knew it was Roadhouse knows it was stupid. Okay.
Also, if it's an A24 movie, you know the actors are kind of gonna be on their game for A24. All right. I'll read some 5-star reviews of Love Lies Bleeding, and then
I'm like scared of the 1-star reviews for
and
this.
then some 1-star reviews. Yeah, the 1-star reviews are kind of what you think they would be.
Hateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some 5-star Google reviews of Love Lies Bleeding. First one from Shoshana. Love Lies Bleeding is an exotic thriller made for sapphic queers and their communities. That's not to say others won't enjoy this sweaty Herculean ride. Very true. The movie has action, drama, sex, suspense, and magic realism. So basically, it's fantastic. You have to give into it, not trying to fit this film in a box, which I can agree to that.
I wouldn't say we tried to fit it in a box or anything
no, for
like
sure.
that.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying definitely go into it with an open mind. So yeah, she said you have to go into it not trying to fit this film in a box, kind of like living the queer experience. And yeah, I would agree that try to not go into this movie with a closed mind. Like definitely go into it with an open mind because it is wild.
In every way.
In every way. Another 5-star review. I have so much respect for Love Lies Bleeding. After sitting through hundreds of hours of male-centered action movies in my life, this story gave me chills. It had me on the edge of my seat, and it tickled my giddy in the best way. It's a bit campy. The synth soundtrack is killer. Agreed. Steamy sex scenes. Steamy. Funny how some people who decided to see this had no idea, and all the characters feel like they stepped right out of a graphic novel. Perfect movie. If you like any of those, go see it. It's a solid review.
Dude, I was so when we first got to the theater, there was actually an older couple that had stolen our seats.
And like in their 80s.
Yeah, they were like in their 80s. Like they were up there. And I was like, do they know what they're about to see? I was so curious what was going through their minds while they watched it. And they stayed for the whole movie. Like they didn't leave anything.
I was low-key expecting them to walk out at some point.
Yeah.
But they stayed.
No, they seemed like they were enjoying themselves.
Another review from Justin, 5 stars. I have never left a public review, but after reading all the negative reviews from men, I wanted to offer a different opinion as a straight male, as if that would make any difference. The atmosphere in this film is spot on, outstanding palette and setting enhanced by pulsing synth suspense of the soundtrack. Beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I was squirming through the gore and anxiety. You'd have to be pretty desensitized to violence not to be a little anxious. Sex scenes were frank and unadorned. Magical realism also played a key role in this movie to great effect. The principal cast was spectacular and Ed Harris nailed his role. Stuart and Katie O'Brien were utterly believable. I go to movies to get shaken up mostly, and this film did its work. It did do its work, I'll tell you that.
Here's some 1 stars. I'm curious.
This one, okay, I will get to that. This one person though said, I've never seen so many men come to the movies by themselves, LMAO, but really awesome movie, better than I expected it, and held my attention. I feel like there was a decent amount of men in the theater.
Yeah.
And clearly we know why some have been going by themselves.
Yeah. But to be honest, like this movie's intrigued me since I saw the trailer a few months ago.
I agree.
I saw the trailer. Yes. I was like, I would definitely go see that.
100%. I mean, I saw Katie O'Brien just getting shredded and I was like, oh yeah, I'm intrigued. All right. Some 1-star reviews. I went to see this with 2 other women. They are both in their 70s. 2 of us read the general storyline, as did my boyfriend. I had invited him to join us, but he had other things to do. I guess that 3 of us don't understand an artistic movie. The first sex scene left little to the imagination, but most have seen such. The movie was not only dark in the screen, but also in what the storyline we say. The next few sex scenes were too graphic for us. They were in your face, literally and figuratively. My friends are more naive than I am. When one asked if I wanted to leave, I said that was fine with me. I had been prepared for the very clear sex scenes. Maybe I would have made it through the movie and got to the storyline. Unfortunately, we left less than 30 minutes into it.
Oh my God.
If the gore was anything like some have said, I'm sure we would have left due to that.
Jesus. All right. Just say you can't handle gore and sex. That's basically sum that up.
I will say, if you do make it through the sex scenes, the second half of the movie does get very interesting and starts accelerating a lot. Another 1-star review from Lizzie. My gay lover and I were hated by everyone in our theater because we couldn't stop laughing at the absurdity that this film was. I could not tell you the plot if you paid me. There was little resolution and many moments that were never explained. Save your money and wait until it's on streaming service. One more 1-star review. It was one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my life, and I am 67 years old. Stewart love interest in this movie was stupid, turning her into the Hulk-like creature by her shirt ripping off when she gets mad because of steroids used, just dumb, and turning them into giants. Running through clouds is possibly the worst I have ever seen. My advice for this movie is don't waste your money. It's horrible. There was no periods in that whole review, so it was hard to know where to stop. Look, it is definitely
It's very different.
very out there movie. But I enjoyed it. All right, so those are our reviews for Roadhouse and Love Lies Bleeding. Two very different movies. I would definitely recommend Love Lies Bleeding over Roadhouse, but Roadhouse is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's freaking free.
But I did see a movie. I know you haven't seen it, Late Night with the Devil. I went and saw that with my friend Berto, and that out of those three, Late Night with the Devil is the one I have enjoyed the most. I know there was a lot of controversy with the use of AI for, and it's very minimal, but it's for like a few frames of the graphics for like the live TV show intermissions. Again, I know it's minimal, but people are saying, well, if you let this slide, then it's just going to lead down to a slippery slope of studios using more and more AI. And look, I agree that there shouldn't be AI used in films, and AI I feel like is dangerous in general.
Yeah, I was about to say AI in general.
In general, man, it is dangerous
any kind of job.
Yeah. Look, I don't want AI to take away artist jobs. That's for damn sure. And they should probably just ban AI in film. And they did not with the new strike. Honestly, the more I've heard from like actual people in the workforce, the new deal is not as good as people thought it is.
No.
They can still use AI with permission.
And when it first happened, they were like, oh, it's such a great deal. Yeah. And then it sounds like absolutely nobody's happy with it.
Yeah. The more and more you talk to people that's like within the industry, it's not that great of a deal. But aside from the controversy, I did really enjoy this movie. It was a tight 90 horror movie, short horror movie, but I didn't think they wasted a single minute. I thought they used every minute great. It also plays into the conspiracy theory of the Groves, that like secret meetup spot in the big redwoods forest for like Illuminati and stuff.
Yeah.
You know that conspiracy theory?
No.
No?
No.
Like all the rich, successful celebrities or elite powers.
Well, I mean, I've heard that.
Yeah,
but
you've heard that, right?
Not the secret meeting.
Oh, really? Like the place to meet up?
No.
Oh, yeah. You should look into it.
I never heard that.
Pretty interesting, to be honest. So,
wow, is Blake a conspiracy theorist?
I think everyone is to a certain extent, to be honest. Not a Okay. There's some that are definitely out there, but like, hey, there's some that are, kind of believable. But I'm just saying, I thought it was an interesting play on that conspiracy theory and using it for a horror movie. Takes place in the 70s, like I just said earlier.
You're such a sucker.
Sucker for period pieces. So
no, you're a sucker for the 70s and 80s.
I am a sucker for the 70s and 80s. So love the aesthetics of the whole movie. Again, another movie where we're seeing more use of black and white. When they were doing when they were live on TV, it takes place all during one night. And when they're live on TV, they have like the color of the TV and all that. But then when they're off air for like commercials, they move to a black and white, more wide shot, give you a different feel during each of those scenes. And I kind of enjoy that we're seeing more black and white stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it can be done tastefully.
Obviously, with what we saw in Dune, it can definitely add a certain effect.
Well, that and Oppenheimer as well.
Yeah.
So I do like that we're seeing more black and white. I haven't seen many 2024 movies, but I enjoyed this one a lot. And like I said, the switch between color and black and white, the color palette of when they were live on TV was very Technicolor, which again adds more flavor to give that feeling of it being in the 70s, which was very popular during that time. So out of those three movies, I would say Late Night with the Devil was my favorite one.
Of course, the one I didn't see.
Yeah. It would probably be your favorite one too.
Well, good thing I got a Regal pass.
Yeah, good thing. But that's going to do it for our reviews today and the movies that we've been seeing lately. Feels good to be back in the studio. Make sure to give us a rating and review wherever you're listening to this. A few new updates too. We will be launching a Patreon soon.
Yep. Gonna get that up and running.
Yep. We're excited to get that up and running.
Blake's gonna start going on TikTok Live every
Tuesday and Thursday. If Thursday's for sure, but I definitely want to do it multiple times a week. I was just live tonight, and again, I'll be live Thursday. Definitely want to make that a reoccurring thing. You know, want to interact with the fans more. I feel like it's always a good time interacting with the fans, answering y'all's questions. So make sure to be joining for our TikTok lives.
I may not always be on there.
No,
but,
yeah.
I will try to be on as much as I can.
Garrett's still, busy with school, so he'll join when he can. But I'm also going to have a reoccurring segment as well where I'll be buying a steelbook each week, and then we'll be, I'll be revealing which steelbook I bought for the week. And I'll usually start around 7 p.m. So please make sure to join us for our TikTok lives. We should have the Patreon up and running, I'd say in about maximum a month. I'd say max a month.
Yeah.
So can't wait to start giving y'all some bonus content.
Ideally in like a couple weeks.
Ideally, yeah. But looking forward to giving y'all some bonus content on the Patreon as well. But that's going to do it for us here for this episode on Blake's Takes. As always, with me, my co-host, Garrett. And we'll see you next time.